What's going on, everyone? This is Over the Ropes. I'm Tyler.
I'm Cortland. Let's get this show on the
And we
road.
got your Smackdown review. We got the go home show to the Elimination Chamber. And what a talky ass show.
Yeah, man, a lot of talking segments, but
but
a good go home show. A lot of stuff went down last night.
yeah, they progressed a lot of stories, and really, overall, it was good. But when you're taking notes like we do now, whew, whew, there's one segment in particular, and we all know the segment that I had to take a couple breaks. So,
There was a lot of play pause, play pause,
oh
play
yeah,
pause. Run that
yeah, yeah,
back.
yeah. All right, so we're gonna just jump straight into this and
Yep.
talk about the show. So the show opens up. We're in Toronto. That's where Elimination Chamber is. Show opens up with Cody walking in. You know, the normal walk-in that they're doing every week, and security stops him and says, "Hey, we're gonna take you to your private dressing room, courtesy of the final boss." And Cody already looks confused. He's like, "Dude, this guy." Uh, so Trish comes out. Big thank you, Trish chants. Uh, she was
As there should
entertaining,
be.
as there should be. She was entertaining. She asked what year this is. Says Lillian is introducing her. We got The Rock back. We have Trish wrestling tomorrow. Uh, Trish says, you know what she loves about wrestling? The generational impact. And points to some little kid in the crowd and says, your dad probably had a poster of me on his wall when he was your age. And I didn't see what the dad did, but it looked like he did like a heart or was like shaking his head or something. And
He drew something, and I
yeah,
thought it was a heart too. But I got on,
yeah,
I
I
got on
missed
X
it.
after, and people were making a huge deal about it, like it was something creepy. I thought he just drew a heart. I don't
Yeah,
think there was anything
no,
weird
it
about
was
it.
fine.
This was a hilarious comment,
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Trish goes, "Oh, I know the one with the heels and the crawling," because I know exactly what poster she's talking about. 1,000%. Yeah,
Yep.
Trish says tomorrow will be the first time her kids see her wrestle live. She points her kids out
Yep.
in the crowd. Trish says she can't wait to team up with someone who's been taking the women's division by storm and introduces Tiffany. Both Tiffany and Trish have the Maple Leaf jerseys on with the and the back of them says Tiffy and Trishy. Trish asks what time it is, and they both say Trishy and Tiffy time, one after another, and then they throw the jerseys into the crowd. Uh, they've been hanging out and they're training together, and tomorrow they're gonna beat Nia and Candice, and then Chelsea Green comes out and says snooze
Snooze
fest. Yeah,
fest.
snooze
Yeah.
fest, and says no one wants Dumb and Dumber hogging the airtime. She says she deserves the airtime, and she's the best thing to step foot in this arena tonight. She says, unlike Austin Matthews, she's a winner, and said she left this dump. When she left this dump, everything was better for her, and she became U.S. champion. She's honored to represent the people of America, and after a loud ass wave of boos, she says,
Yeah.
because the people of America are better. Uh, Tiffany says, well, I'm from America, and you don't represent me. Uh,
Yep.
Chelsea says, I don't represent losers. And she says it's her time. So Tiffany challenges her to a match, and ref comes running out. And again, because this is starting to really irritate me, we get a completely changed out of nowhere situation. Considering Chelsea was supposed to defend her title against a random person tonight.
Right. And
And
that didn't happen.
again, they just randomly change it for no reason, and that shit's
Yeah.
actually starting to get old and irritating.
Yep.
Because I thought we were gonna get like a cool surprise, like oh shit, Chelsea's defending her title against,
Oh, right.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Didn't they tease someone from Toronto?
they
Or was
didn't
it Canada?
they didn't tease where they're from. It was just like oh this is gonna be fun, like
Gotcha.
you know. And then I guess there was something that happened online where Chelsea's in his office and Meat Chin attacks her with a kendo stick. So they have like a street fight next week or something for the
Again.
U.S. title. Yeah.
All right.
The match is really good. Tiffany did the front flip off the top onto Chelsea and Piper to the floor.
Oh
Tiffany
man, that
slot.
swanton was brutal.
Oh, dude, sure, Swanton's pretty good. Uh, Chelsea slides, or Tiffany slides Chelsea back in the ring, and Nia and Candice run out and attack Trish. Tiffany, kind of same thing that's happened the last couple weeks. Tiffany tries to help, then they beat her down. Trish tries to help, then they beat her down. Then finally Tiffany tries to help, and they get the upper hand. End up throwing Nia and Candice out of the ring, and Tiffany and Trish stand tall.
Yep.
WWE definitely has a go home. Usually if you stand tall during your go home show, you lose.
That was the blueprint for a long, long time.
Yeah, so do you think that changes the winner of this match? Do you think Nia and Candice win since Tiffany and Trish stood tall?
I think it's way too detrimental to Tiffany if she loses this
I
match.
agree. I think it's okay that they stood tall and win because Nia and Candice have been whooping their ass every week.
Yeah.
So
I think it's important that they stood their ground, that Trish looked good in Toronto, and Tiffany really needs a really strong couple days here.
yeah, I agree.
Fine way to start the show, though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good match.
After this, I enjoyed that this kind of became a theme for the night because we're not seeing any of these guys on Elimination Chamber. They put a lot of focus into the men's United States Championship. Nick Aldis addresses the state of the number one contender spot, saying LA Knight and Shinsuke have both been asking him. So he says tonight, 6 men get the chance to lay their cards on the table, and he announces 3 matches. The winner of those 3 matches would then go on to face off in a triple threat to see who the number one contender is.
Do you know why they changed that?
I do not.
Because it was supposed to be Shinsuke versus LA Knight for the U.S. title. They changed
On
it.
this show?
Yeah. They changed it because Shinsuke's older brother died.
Oh, brother, that stinks.
So that's why they did the tournament. And I saw a lot of people kind of bitching that it was like, well, LA Knight was number one contender, and at the end of the night, he's still number one contender. It's like, yeah, because they had to do something,
Yeah.
They still want to do Shinsuke versus LA Knight. So this is
I missed all that.
Yeah.
For someone who doesn't know all that, I mean, it was an entertaining way to get these guys on a show, which I think is great and needed. I think they did a good job of putting focus on belts that aren't going to be on the PLE tonight, because we saw a lot of that US, and then the tag stuff in the middle, I love.
Oh my god, that was so good. Yeah.
So I enjoyed this.
I agree.
After that, we see Solo Sikoa out back. He approaches Jacob Fatu and Tamatanga. Jacob says, "This is so reminiscent of what happened a week ago."
Yep.
Jacob's like, "What happened last week? That was an accident." And Solo's like, "Yeah, sure it was."
Yeah, not buying that shit at all.
Yeah.
No.
And then Jacob says he heard Solo had a qualifying match tonight. Solo confirms. And he says, "What happened last week made me realize the family needs to make a statement tonight. That starts with us taking the U.S. Championship. And that's why I want you." And he looked at Tamatanga. But then he shifts his look to Jacob.
Yep.
He says, "To you to run the play tonight." And Solo says everything he's doing is to show Jacob how much he loves him. And Jacob walks away. So again, this is all just big role reversal from what was going on a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that little boil. Was it just me, or did Solo look a little thinner? I feel like something about his face looked smaller today, or last night. Yeah.
Maybe, but maybe it's because it was kind of a close-up, and Jacob's thicker than he is,
Yeah,
so
that's a good contrast,
He might just look smaller, compared to... Listen, I mean, I know it's going to end up being Jacob versus Solo. Yeah, 100%. And that match...
I love you, Solo!
And Jacob's so good. I like Solo, but... I mean, people were saying this as soon as Jacob, showed up. It's so unfair. In a way that you can't help, because Jacob just has aura. He just has that swagger that Solo just doesn't have. you know?
Yep.
And, oh, man, he's so damn good. Tamatonga's just sitting there quietly watching. Like,
Yep.
I'm staying
Didn't
out
say a
of
word.
it. Nah.
After that,
This
we
was
get
fucking hilarious.
this
Truth
was pretty funny.
did everything he could to make Cody laugh. And Cody
Yep.
was fighting for his life.
Fighting for his life, kind of like the Usos back a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So the camera cuts to Cody out back. He's like standing over a spread of food on a table. And I think it was one of the same guys who greeted him at the arena.
Yeah.
He said, "Enjoy. This is compliments of the final boss."
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear this voice saying, "Man, you need to try the shrimps."
Man, you need to try shrimps. Yeah. Yep.
And it's R-Truth, and Cody's like, "What are you doing back here?"
Just laying
Truth's-
all over the couch. Feet
and he's
up.
lounging
Yeah,
on this couch.
lounging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Truth's like, "It's a mighty good spread you got here." Cody says Truth must be considering selling his soul to The Rock. And Truth, with the perfect line, he's like, "Well, he is the soul man. I used to watch him tag with Tony Atlas as a kid."
At least
And
once
so-
he finally admits his age, rather than saying Cena.
Right?
Old ass.
So obviously an homage to The Rock's dad, the soul man Rocky Johnson. Truth tells Cody to consider taking the offer, which became a theme throughout the show. And he asks if Cody's going to keep all the food to himself. And he tells him not to be shellfish. And I fucking spit my drink out.
and the
Cody's
look
like-
on his face when he says it.
Oh,
Dead serious.
yeah.
Don't be selfish.
Cody's like digging for more. And Truth's like, "Can you ask for jelly rolls?" Just again, a nice little a point of levity in what's a very serious, matter for Cody.
It's serious for Cody. It was a comedy spot for Truth, but then there was a little in there. Cody tells him, "What are you doing in my locker room?" Like,
Yep.
oh, okay, so this is already your locker room. Like, oh, okay, And oh, dude,
Yep.
that ending where he's like, "Yeah, hey man, next time you talk to Final Boss, can you ask him for some jelly rolls?" And he's like staring Cody down when he says it, and then he gets a something and he just starts eating it like aggressively right behind Cody's head. And Cody,
It was Sushimis. He was like, "I love sashimis."
yeah, he's like aggressively eating it, staring at the back of Cody's head, and Cody's doing everything he can not to turn around, look at him. Like, oh, dude, this was hilarious. Truth is so damn funny. Oh, man.
You want to take the next match? I need to step away for just a quick moment.
Yeah. So next we got Andrade versus Jacob Fatu. First match in this little one-night tournament for the U.S. title. It was a good match. I mean, Andrade can't put on a bad match, and frankly, I don't think Jacob can put on a bad match. Andrade hits this. He jumped over the top rope, hitting a Hurricanrana while Jacob was on the floor. And then does a backflip off the top rope and lands on Jacob while he's on the floor. Man, Andrade, it's hard. I don't like bitching about people not doing enough because, especially with only a couple matches on each pay-per-view, you just don't have the room to pay off everything all the time. Sometimes, stories kind of go up and down for people. But boy, I'd love to see Andrade in something soon. He's so damn good.
He's been back for a whole year now because he returned at the Rumble last year.
Yep.
And I think about what he's done in the last year, and I feel like he's on TV for 2 or 3 weeks in a row, and then you don't see him for 2 months.
Yeah, I think he was in a story with Ray and the LWO and Carlito. It was kind of his big story going into WrestleMania last year. And then after that, it's kind of been okay, U.S. title run for the belt, lose the belt, go away for a couple weeks, probably wrestling some dark matches, come back, wrestle for the U.S. title for a couple weeks, back and forth. So I'd like to see him in something. But the match was awesome. Neither one of them can do a bad match. Jacob tried to go for a pop-up power bomb, and Andrade reverses it into a poison rana, which was sweet.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. When you were away, I talked about the Andrade jumping over the top rope and hitting her Corona while Jacob was on the floor. Dude.
Yep.
Ooh. Big This Is Awesome chance after Andrade hit the backflip into the other backflip. I love that move. Into the
double
splash.
knee into the double backflip.
Yep. And then Jacob ends up hitting the moonsault for the win. Jacob's the first person who moves on into the triple threat. Good match. Like I said, neither one of them can put on a bad match for sure.
Super solid.
So then we get the Street Profits talking to Aldis in the back. They say they're not going to stop. They're like, dude, we're not going to stop what we're doing. We've been owed a championship match for 3 months. So until we get one, nah, we ain't stopping nothing. And Legado walks up and Santos says, hey, man, I'm glad you're back. Because that means you're finally ready to apologize for falsely accusing us. Which, they did not accuse them. Pretty deadly accused them. You know? So, Dawkins was like, we ain't apologizing for nothing, dude. Like, hell no. I love how serious Street Profits are right now because they were so unserious before. They're just business. Give us those belts.
They just stare darts through everyone now.
Yeah. Santos says, well, good. I'm glad you ain't apologizing. And that just gives us a reason to beat it out of you. And Aldis separates him, tells Santos, he says, you need to worry about LA Knight tonight, and y'all have a match. Because this happened earlier in the day. So then we come back from commercial. We get the Street Profits versus Los Garza. This match lasted 0 minutes. Street Profits come while they're making their entrance. Los Garza's already in the ring.
Starting to cut out again.
Los Garza's already in the ring. So when the Street Profits start making their way down, they get attacked by DIY. Los Garza runs out, attacks DIY. So all 3 teams start fighting, and then Pretty Deadly runs out. They start fighting, jump in. DIY ends up having the upper hand. Out comes Motor City Machine Guns, and the brawl all these teams are just kicking the shit out of each other. A couple times we ended up with Motor City Machine Guns and Street Profits in the ring, and they didn't really go at it because some other teams would kind of jump in and run in. The brawl ends up ending with security separating Motor City Machine Guns and Street Profits while the other 3 teams were out on the floor. It was a fun brawl with 5 teams.
I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Different than we normally get.
You know, you and I talked about a 4-way for Mania. I wonder if they do a tag turmoil.
Yeah, that'd be neat because we left out the Garzas, who it seems like they're going to leave in this conversation, which I'm stoked with.
Yeah, you can put the Garzas. If you're doing a tag turmoil, you can add, like, Loomis and Gacy. You can add in, if Tungaloa's healthy, you can add the Tungas into it. So, yeah, maybe they go tag turmoil. I don't think we've ever had one at WrestleMania.
I don't know if we've had turmoil at WrestleMania. I would have to dig into the Rolodex, but not off the top of my head. Oh, I don't know, actually.
I don't think there has been. I went to a Backlash right after WrestleMania, and there was a tag turmoil. The 2025, the one where Batista beat Triple H.
They did it 4 years ago.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it was the ladies tag team championship.
Oh, okay. The one that the Iconics one? No, that was a 4-way.
It's called the Turmoil on here. It says Naomi and Lana, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, Riot Squad, Natalia Tamina, Carmella, and Billie Kay.
How many teams?
So I think that's 5 teams.
Okay, I guess so. I thought that was a.
I totally forgot about that. I would, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Well, wait. Sasha and Bayley.
It was number 1 contender to see who was going to face Sasha and Bayley.
Oh, so that was probably on the pre-show.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. Okay. So, yeah. They don't do pre-show matches anymore. So, I would still say there's not been a tag turmoil match at WrestleMania, you know?
Too sure.
But yeah, so no, I mean, that'd be sweet. I'm down. I love tag turmoils. They don't do that match enough. All right.
Here comes the big one.
Okay, so we'll jump between people. I'll do Drew. You do Priest. I'll do Seth. You do Punk. I'll do Logan. We'll just kind of bounce back and forth. All right?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and there's 2 Drew parts here, too, so.
Yeah, they're one right after another, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Drew walks up to Cody, says he knows Cody has a lot on his mind, and he isn't there to add more to it. When it comes to the decision, he says, hey, this decision could change your family's life for generations. And if he was in Cody's spot, he doesn't know what he would do. Drew says he was really... Drew says, hey, he was really telling that you didn't answer The Rock right away. Like, that showed me a lot. Like, seriously. And I was surprised during this. I was like, wow, Drew sounds like he's, like, really, And Drew says, it said, like he repeats, it says a lot to him. And Drew says he doesn't know what The Rock will do when Cody says yes. And he finds that Cody sold his soul a long time ago.
You're cutting out quite a bit again.
All right. Is that better?
Let's give it a shot.
All right. So Drew goes, man, he's being so just real. And he's like, I don't know what The Rock's going to do when he finds out you already sold your soul. Just there he is.
There's the dig.
There's the dig. So we get this awesome John Cena video package that they've been showing, and all of a sudden you just hear Drew, cut it off. We're not. So the camera goes to Drew, who's walking through the fans, and Drew says, we're not doing this. Please love me. Remember me, how I was, not who I am. Walks past the fan, dude, tells them they stink.
That was so funny.
Drew says, either you die a hero or you live long enough to find yourself as a hypocrite. Drew, so Drew says, do you guys remember when Cena put himself in the chamber and said everyone else has 7 weeks to say whatever they want? And besides Punk saying, I qualified the right way one time, not one person has said a damn thing because they're scared of the golden goose. And he said, not me, so I got some stuff to say about John Cena. So he sits down on the announce table, Indian style, pipe bomb style. Drew says,
big time pipe bomb vibes.
Yeah, he says, I can't help but to wonder what 2011 Cena would say about present day John Cena. He would probably start off with some poopy joke, and he would then tear into him about how he left for Hollywood and he turned his back on the industry and he only returns for ego trips. And to cap it off, he would rip off that bald spot that he has on the back of his neck that deserves its own area code, which was a great line. Drew, he says, hey, remember, it's not me saying it. It's young Cena, okay? I'm not saying any of this. Drew says, he said, I used to be afraid of Cena. When I was younger, I used to be afraid of Cena. Not physically, but politically. Because he could just end your career just like that. Drew says, I'm not a kid anymore. I'm a monster that people like you created. And at Chamber, I'm going to bury Cena. 2024, I was screwed over and over again. And Priest comes out.
And the people just start cheering. He says these people cheered out the Toronto screw job. And after he won the Money in the Bank, and he went to cash in, like you said, Priest music hits. Mm-hmm. And he's like, Drew, enough. All you do every week is complain and cry. He says that Drew wants sympathy from these people, but we all see right through him and his delusions. And Drew's like, I'm not delusional. All I do is tell the truth. Mm-hmm. Find the lie. I dare ya. Priest says that our truth makes more sense than McIntyre does.
I like that. He was so offended. He said, truth? Truth? Our truth makes more damn sense than you.
Yeah. Excuse me. Priest says that he hears that Drew is upset about his current position in the company after the hell of a run in the year he had the year prior. And Drew agrees. He's like, yeah, I got screwed constantly. So Priest recaps the year for him. He talks about Drew winning the title at WrestleMania, but his obsession with CM Punk cost him. And Priest was able to cash in. They then move on to when they were in Toronto for Money in the Bank, and once again, Priest says that Drew's obsession with CM Punk cost him.
Drew says, I don't have a weird obsession with Punk.
And this was so great. Priest was like, look at you right now. You know, he's sitting on the table, pipe bomb style. Drew's like, yeah, I dropped the bombs now.
He said, you look ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was such a great point. That was all well done. Priest says tomorrow the goal is to win Elimination Chamber and go on to WrestleMania, but he's going to take great pride in pinning Drew McIntyre. The crowd starts chanting for CM Punk, and then Priest says, thanks to Drew's obsession, the last time they were in this building, Priest dropped his ass, and if he needs a reminder, he can step through these rings right now, and he'll do it again. And Drew's like, okay, big boy.
Yeah.
And Seth frickin' Rollins music hits.
Yes, sir. Seth comes out, weird ass outfit per usual, just so animated. Seth comes in the ring and he says, "Look at us, the three amigos back together again at the scene of the crime. You two are having so much fun reminiscing about Money in the Bank. I figured I'd come out and join the party with all the lovely folks in Toronto." He says, he has very specific. I have very specific memories of that night. If it wasn't for some questionable officiating, if it wasn't for CM Punk having a sleepover under the ring, as if it wasn't for this moron having the worst Money in the Bank cash-in of all time, I would have beat your ass for the World Championship. And Drew's like, wait, what? He said, but I'm not here to talk about the past. I'm here to talk about the future. It points to the WrestleMania sign. He says, I have some news for you two morons. This isn't the same Seth that hobbled into Mania last year. I feel as good as I look, which means everyone does not stand a chance. And then out comes CM Punk. And damn, was that crowd loud. Holy shit.
The plot continues to thicken. I wish Trish got as good of a reaction as Punk does.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah, me too.
So Punk's like, I don't know where to begin. Well, we got a few people I got personal issues with. And Punk's like, you feel as good as you look? Well, you look like an oven mitt, and I cooked you on January 6th, and I'm going to cook you again at the Chamber.
Yep.
He says he's cool with Priest, but if they face off tomorrow, Priest is going to be collateral damage. Mm-hmm. Punk says Drew and Seth are both obsessed with him, but he's obsessed with WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And now they have to deal with the drama with The Rock buying and taking people's souls. And then he's like, and someone had the audacity to ask me if I'd sell my soul? Punk says he snatched Drew's soul at the Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And Punk says everybody better get serious real quick. And then he makes a dig at Seth. He's like, which I know you'll struggle with.
Yep.
And Punk makes a dig about Cena not even being there to defend himself. He's like, this isn't about any of you. It's about me. And at this point, I'm like, I need Cena to come defend himself quick. Seth says Punk will not main event WrestleMania ever. Not over his dead body. Mm-hmm. Seth's like, if it ain't me, it ain't going to be you either.
Sure as hell isn't going to be you. Yep.
Yep. Drew tells Seth he'll beat him for the title at Mania. What? Drew tells Seth that he beat him for the title at Mania, and it's been 6 months since Punk's been back, so he's probably due for an injury, and he's going to take his ass out. Punk tells Drew he's kicked his ass for duty, for profit, and tomorrow, which is tonight, he's going to do it for fun.
Yep.
Priest says he doesn't know why Drew's even talking. Everybody knows that when the Chamber's over, he's just going to go and cry on the internet again.
Yeah, they all just start bickering back and forth.
Yeah, it's a great circle of it.
Start just talking over each other, bitching back and forth.
And then Seth tells Punk, it's over. These chants are all going to die tomorrow along with his WrestleMania dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, the
crowd loses it.
I lost it. I had cold chills, and I'm like, oh my god, thank God.
So
Cena is here.
I will say I had this ruined for me because I had to take a break, and I was just on Twitter and somebody was in the crowd and posted their reaction. So I was like, that's great. So so Cena's music hits. Everybody, including Cortland's, losing their damn mind. And out.
Yeah, I texted you. I was like, oh my god!
And out comes Logan Paul. Logan said, "Oh, you thought that was Cena? You need to face it. Cena doesn't care about you. You can't see him, but you can see me." He says, "Look at us, all of us full-timers putting in the hard work, unlike John Cena, classic celebrity wrestler."
Such a good line.
Yeah. Fans start chanting, "You suck." He said, Logan goes, "You don't mean that. Just stop. You don't mean that." So he's looking in the ring, and he starts looking for Punk because he can't see him. He goes, "You might
cut out."
So Logan's looking around. He's looking for Punk, but he can't see him. So he goes, no. We'll start with Seth. Logan says,
"Over here, you idiot." Yeah. That was so funny when Punk said that.
Yes. Logan goes, "Seth, look at you. The peacock of WWE. You're a great wrestler, but you dress like you lost a bet. And you look like if Lady Gaga threw up on a coat hanger." He says, "Drew, look at you. You're home. You can't win a championship, and neither can the Maple Leafs." And Priest, "I barely know anything about you. Irrelevancy, right? I can't relate." He said, "I hear you used to be world champion. I guess that shows you can have a priest standing in the middle of the ring, and I still remain the answer to WWE's prayers." And he finally gets to Punk. He said, "Hey, Punk, I would say it smacked that stupid look off your face, but I already did that on Monday. How's your jaw feeling, buddy?" And Punk goes, "I'll come up and show you." Logan runs off. He goes, "Hit my music. Hit Cena's music," as he runs away. And Punk starts chasing him up. Great segment. Great segment for Chamber. Awesome. That is what this match needed. Again,
I really wish we got Cena, though. I really do.
I know. Hopefully, he's done filming, and after Chamber, we'll see a lot more of him. But this was entertaining. It was awful to take notes for, but it was damn entertaining. Everybody held their own. Everybody did good. Who do
you think looked the strongest? I'll go Punk.
Yeah.
Punk is so good on the mic.
He just looks dialed in where the rest of them... there was a shot that was hilarious when Punk comes out. Drew's like... Seth's like... ready to go. And then Priest looks like he's doing everything he can not to smile. The other two look like they're ready to fight. And Priest looks like he's, trying not to take this in. He's like...
I'm just surviving.
Yeah, Punk looks just dialed in and he's ready to kill somebody. So the next we get LA Knight, and versus Santos Escobar. Second match in the tournament. Another great match. Santos especially. I love seeing when we get a match with Santos. Character-wise, I like Andrade more, but Santos is awesome too. I again love factions. If you're in a faction, that automatically brings you up for me. And he's just killer in the ring. Match is great. I love the spot LA Knight has in this company. I've been a fan of him since he was Eli Drake in TNA. He needs to bring back the stupid button that he had in TNA. That'd be great. But yeah, match was great. LA Knight ends up hitting the BFT in midair for the win.
Yeah,
that was sick. Holy shit! Catches in midair BFT. I was like, damn.
So we have different takes on this match, which I love. I like when we disagree on stuff.
Yeah, me too.
So I thought the match was kind of clunky.
Okay.
I think that they're good wrestlers, but I felt like they had no chemistry, and you could see them talking the whole match, which I always hate. I like when they do a little better job of covering it up.
Uh-huh.
But I just felt like it was kind of awkward and clunky until like the very end. But I felt like especially the first segment before they went to break.
Yeah.
But I think at the end they saved it. Santos hit that crazy Hurricane Rana from the top rope.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you what, the last thing they remember is the finish. And they hit that BFT spot
Perfect.
so clean.
Yeah.
And for me, it saved the match.
Yeah.
That was gorgeous.
Yeah, that was great.
And we had never seen that from LA Knight, so it was pretty neat.
So if you're taking notes, just note down, Cortland also hates Santos Escobar. Good to know.
No, I don't.
This list is just getting longer and longer. Man, all right, Cortland hates good wrestling and Santos Escobar, along with Sheamus, and I forget who else was on the list, but definitely Sheamus, that's for sure. All right, cool. All right.
Oh, man.
Cool.
After this, we get Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
He comes out to the ring, and he talks about how him and Kevin Owens have been through a lot. To say they've been through a lot would be an understatement. But the thing is, he says Kevin's been doing a lot of running, a lot of hiding. Sami knows he's in Toronto. Sami's like, I'm right here in the ring. So if you got something to say, out of respect for their history and their countrymen, he says, come out and say it to my face in front of our countrymen so we can say our final piece. Because after tonight, there's going to be nothing left to say. They cut to KO, and he's already at the Rogers Center where Elimination Chamber is going to occur. And he's like, I'd hate for something to happen to your neck. We need you healthy for the match. KO says that they fought all over Toronto, but they've never fought anywhere as big as the Rogers Center. Kevin says everything that'll happen to Sami deserves. And that KO, he reiterates, he's like, I'm not the bad guy here. Kevin says that Sami's going to be in a wheelchair. He's not going to be able to provide for his family anymore. And Kevin's not going to help. He's going to watch him suffer because this is all on Sami's hands. It's all his fault.
Yep.
And Sami's like, it's not the tough guy talk to admit this. He's like, but I'm nervous. But I'm not nervous about what's going to happen to me. Sami says he's nervous for what's going to happen to Kevin. And that Kevin's family might never forgive Sami for what he does.
Yep.
And they kind of button this up. And this is going to be a brawl.
You know,
I can only hope this is going to be as good as the ROH stuff.
It's, I feel like, I'm like, man, the way they're setting this up, this match needs to be fucking brutal. Like, they both need to be covered in blood. They need to, neither one of them can barely stand,
Yeah.
Whoever wins just because they flop over. There's just nothing.
Scrape the arm over.
Right. This match needs to be people, because everybody complains on the internet. We need to get people bitching and complaining, you can't put this on for kids. Kind of brutal, you know what I'm saying? Because these two look like they're just ready to end each other. So give it to me. Give it to me all the way. Give it to me Randy Orton versus Cactus Jack style.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Yeah, this is giving me Shawn Michaels Triple H vibe, which I love.
One of my favorite matches of all time. 2002 SummerSlam. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Absolute brawl.
Yeah.
So after this, we get Miz. He's out back hyping up Carmelo. He says Mellow Out Miz is 1-0. Melo's like, it's not really a good name. And Miz is like, it's not just a good name. It's awesome. It's a lifestyle. And then they're like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I like the Mellowed Out Miz. I'm all set with the awesome thing.
I hope from NXT this leads to Trick and Mello teaming up on the main roster. If Trick does turn
I
heel,
didn't think it was going to happen at first, but Trick is definitely turning now, it seems like. So
yeah.
So I could see it now.
Mello kind of gets his swag back, and then they kick Miz out and ends up being Mello and Trick again on the main roster.
Yep.
Give that to me. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Melo says he's going to go out and do this on his own, and Miz is like, don't forget to sing. And Melo's like, I don't need it.
Mm-hmm.
And then as Melo walks away to the ring, Cody approaches Miz. Miz is like, what are you going to do? Cody's like, I haven't decided. And Miz basically, he tells Cody he thinks he should take the offer.
Yeah.
He's like, you're the face of the company, you're all this, but you're here. And I know you are more, and The Rock can take you here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, if you don't accept the offer, someone else might.
Yep. Which they kind of hit on a couple of times with people. Drew said he didn't know what he would do. Punk says he doesn't know what he would do. Miz says somebody else might take that offer if you don't. Like, yeah, they were hinting at a lot. Yeah.
After that, we get a Braun Strowman on his way to the ring.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we get Braun Strowman versus Carmelo Hayes.
Yes, sir.
This is the last qualifier before the triple threat.
Yes, sir.
Strowman gets that typical, he gets the momentum going around the ring. He hits the shoulder block. Tama Tonga runs interference on the apron. Solo comes around on the other side of the ring. He hits Strowman with a chair, and Strowman just no-sells the hell out of it.
No effect whatsoever.
Completely unfazed. He takes Solo out with the chair, and then he takes Tama Tonga out. He tosses him over the announce table. Carmelo Hayes with a great callback with the old Eddie Guerrero spot. He slams the chair off the mat.
Yep.
Does a flat back, sets the chair next to him.
No, throws it to Strowman.
Oh, he throws it into Strowman's hands.
Yeah.
And we get a DQ here. Yep. So Carmelo advances.
Get the hell out of that ring, too.
Do you think that was a plan the whole time, or do you think that was a backup plan in case the Faber guys went long?
No, I mean, all this is a backup plan that was made last minute because of Shinsuke, so,
That's a really good point, yeah.
I think they purposely made a couple of these matches shorter, like the tag match ended up being a brawl, because of, one, how many talky segments they had, and two, how much a Rock likes to talk. So you just have to set enough time for that, because homeboy cannot just get to the damn point.
No.
So after the match, Strowman's pissed. He grabs Tama Tonga, whips him over the announce table. We go to the back. We get Bayley, Bianca, and Naomi talking about their 6-woman tag match tonight. And they pretty much all talk about how much they want to be locked in the cage with Liv first. This match happened because they had the little press conference before the pay-per-view earlier in the day, which I watched. It was all right. And Naomi and Naomi and Bianca attacked Liv and Raquel, and then Bayley and Roxanne start fighting during the press conference. So that's why they made the 6-man tag or 6-woman tag. Bianca and Naomi's outfits, all black makeup. Bianca had a choker on. Just saying. Saying.
Subtle changes.
Yeah. So we get the 6-woman tag: Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, and Raquel versus Bayley, Naomi, and Bianca. We come back from commercial, I think, or during the entrance, and there's a shot of Raquel leaning against the ropes, and both Liv and Roxanne are sitting on the ropes, different layers. And I don't know why, but it made me go, oh, man, I want that tag team of Roxanne and Liv so bad now. They're a lot of, again, great, awesome match. They are just kicking the shit out of each other. I feel like this was a continuation from that main event of Raw, because the main event of Raw was spectacular. And I feel like they just continued straight into this match. Some awesome spots. It was great to see Roxanne in there, because she did not look out of place. No. A little.
She held her own.
Yeah, a little small, but And Roxanne.
I was good to see her next to Liv for a comparison when they came out together.
Yeah. Roxanne ends up getting the win. Hits the pop rocks on Bayley for the win. And then afterwards, Alexa shows up behind her, and she can just tell something's there. She turns around, gets hit with Sister Abigail. We get the Wyatt 6 thing pop up again. And I thought it was a really good match. I was into it. I was like, hell yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I think this is that old school mentality where Roxanne ain't winning tomorrow, so it was good to see her stand tall tonight. I think in this match, 100% is the case. Great showcase for also a good way to get Alexa on TV because she was not involved in the match.
Correct. And she wasn't involved in the press conference either.
Press conference, yeah. After this, we get...
Hold on. Remember me telling you my big brain women's elimination chamber thing?
Oh, yeah, dude. Lay it on me.
Okay, so this is absolutely not going to happen. 0% chance. But big brain. Okay. Big brain. We know they set WrestleMania plans up in, November, October, right? Supposedly. Does any of these girls feel like they were built up to wrestle Rhea from November? Say from War Games.
Out of the 6 that are in this match? Not really.
Not a damn person. Now, who could you schedule in your head to wrestle your champion, but you can't really promote it? You know,
you cut out a little bit.
I said, who could you have planned to wrestle your champion, but you really can't promote it? Right now, we have a couple girls in the storyline about somebody getting jumped, right?
Yeah. Yep.
What if tonight Naomi just ends up jumped? Or Bianca just ends up jumped? Or the Wyatt 6 does something to Alexa? Bayley and Roxanne's feuding, but who else was feuding with Roxanne this week that you couldn't promote since War Games to wrestle Rhea? So
who's that?
Jordynne Grace.
Oh, really?
I mean, again, I doubt it's going to happen, but what if somebody got jumped and Jordynne Grace comes into the match and then she wins her first main card match, Elimination Chamber, her and Rhea, and that's why they couldn't promote, build up anybody against Rhea going into Mania.
Right.
And then you get Roxanne and Jordan in the chamber, and you get Roxanne and Bayley in the chamber.
Oh, shit.
Again, no shot it's going to happen, but tell me how sweet that would be. You know?
That would be a pretty sweet face-off, but that's another one of those where I want to build between those two.
Yes, but I would prefer this with no build, because it's one of those, she comes in right off the bat, gets a championship match. It's okay if she loses to Rhea here, because then she builds up to that rematch. Kind of like Rhea and Charlotte won. You know what I'm saying? So, because, what? They're not taking this belt off Rhea. Whoever faces Rhea is losing. Rhea just won this damn belt. And they don't change belts that quickly. And they love Rhea. So, just for me, that match makes the most sense. And I'm into it. It's not going to happen. But I thought that, hit me out of nowhere while I was working. I was like, oh, that would be sweet. But no shit.
I love when that happens. Yeah. It happens to me at work every once in a while. I'm like, oh, I need to share this thought. Good call. So after that segment, we get Saxon.
Yes,
he's out back with Charlotte. Because it was funny. I was thinking, man, we're going to go a whole week without Charlotte here.
I wish.
But she gets on here. Quick little promo. He asked Charlotte what she thinks of Tiffany and Trishy time. Charlotte says the team is cute, but once the smoke clears, Tiffany has a bigger problem to deal with. So she better get focused, she better get prepared, because there's no help against Charlotte, and the time is slipping away from Tiffany. Quick little promo, gets the job done.
Yep.
We come back from break, we get another promo. It's a Shinsuke Nakamura promo. Yep. Basically, he just calls all of his contenders fools. And he's going to make an example of whoever is dumb enough to win the match later.
Yep.
After that, we get Solo Sikoa. He says he took care of the Braun Strowman problem, and now Jacob needs to go finish the job. And man, so then we get the Jacob promo on the way to the ring.
Yeah.
I laughed so hard, man, when they got to that last tunnel before Gorilla, and the boom mic smashed off of the tarp.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! I lost my shit. I mean, they rolled with it and it was fine.
Yeah.
It's just like going to school for what I went to school for and all that, and seeing all that, I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
So this gets us to the number one contender triple threat for the U.S. title.
Yep.
We got Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight. Yeah. Versus Melo, who don't miss. First thing I write down: why is Carmelo selling from his 3-minute match where he took one move?
I know. He's
Whatever.
The heel, man. He's the heel. Yeah.
So LA Knight goes right after Jacob to start. But honestly, we get really good back and forth action between all three. The classic triple threat stuff.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this match quite a bit. LA Knight seemed to be the first one to kind of get an upper hand, but Fatu kind of took it back. I felt like for the most part, Fatu or LA was in control of most of this match.
Yeah.
Good spot going into a break. Fatu had LA Knight and Melo both against the barricade, and he went for this huge crossbody. They both moved, and he just goes flying over it, man. It was like a cartoon segment.
Mm-hmm.
They come back from break. Melo hits that gorgeous springboard DDT. Fatu just immediately gets up, and he hits the pop-up Samoan drop on Melo.
Mm-hmm.
LA sneaks up. He hits his neck breaker, catches a 2 count. Great combo move right here. They hit the BFT on Fatu, but Melo also caught him for a first 48. He goes for the pin on LA Knight, who kicks out at 2. LA tosses Carmelo out of the ring onto Jacob Fatu. I think Fatu was supposed to catch him. Yeah. Regardless, Fatu gets back up. He smashes him off the steps of the table. I wrote table, but I feel like it was the steps. Regardless, he tosses him aside.
Yeah.
LA Knight, man. Not usually a high flyer, but he goes to the apron and he hits a springboard crossbody on Jacob Fatu.
Hell yeah.
I love that LA Knight is always willing to push the boundaries here. And then Melo hits the nothing but net on LA Knight in the ring. Jacob Fatu breaks it up with a swanton. I could not imagine being swanton by this guy.
Yeah.
Fatu hits his running hip attack. He hits an impaler DDT, which he hit earlier, too. I wonder if this is the new signature for him.
Yeah.
And then he hits his moonsault on Melo. Looks like he's going to win the match, but LA Knight pulls him out of the ring, and he picks up the scraps and grabs the win. So LA Knight is your number one contender.
Yes, sir.
For the U.S. Championship. I thought it was a great match.
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. LA Knight's not young, but the other two being younger wrestlers, I guess all three being younger WWE wrestlers. LA Knight's old ass isn't young. The way that they did good triple threat moves and really built this match out in a good triple threat manner. It was good. It was a good triple threat. I hate that Melo took the pin, but somebody has to in this situation. And they clearly want to do LA Knight versus Shinsuke. Obviously, they couldn't do it this week. Some things are obviously bigger than wrestling if you lose a close family member. So they got everybody on TV, had some awesome matches, and we still get the match.
Cut down again pretty bad.
We, they wanted LA Knight versus Shinsuke, but when you lose a family member, like, that's bigger than wrestling. So they got everybody on TV, got in some good matches, and still get the match that they want to do. So I was fine with it. I thought, we got Andrade, we got Santos, we got people on TV. So I was down for it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was entertaining. And yeah, I thought it was a really good show.
Good to see some focus on the U.S. title there. So after that, Cody runs into one more person before he gets to the ring.
Yep.
He runs into CM Punk.
Yep.
And Punk says, "You want your soul, man? What's that about?" Cody's like, "I don't know." Punk says Cody's on top of the world. And he's like, "What could The Rock even offer you?"
All right.
Punk asks what young Cody would do the offer. And Punk's like, "I know what young CM Punk would do. I would take this offer lickety-split." He's like, "But I'm wiser now." And Punk says he's got no love for Dwayne.
No love.
But he'd like to see Cody take the offer. And and Cody just like looks surprised.
Yeah.
And Punk's like, yeah, take that offer, shine it up real good, turn it sideways,
That's
and
right.
shove that son of a bitch straight up his part-time candy
Right
ass.
up his ass. Yep.
And Punk says Cody got here by following his instinct, listening to his heart.
Yep.
But Punk tells him, do whatever you want to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But he tells him that he will see him in the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So once again, I feel like Punk had the best interaction with Cody out of everyone going into this, and now he has the last interaction with Cody going into all this.
Yeah, it's funny because by the time Raw ended, I was like, oh, they're going to do CM Punk and Logan Paul. And then by the time SmackDown ended, I was like, wait, are they going to do Cena versus Logan Paul? So I have no idea.
Man, I keep reading that, and I will be so pissed.
Yeah,
I will be so pissed.
It's going to be one of them. It's going to be one of them. So Cody comes out to the ring. It's Cody and Michael Cole. Cole says Cody represents all the fans. He's living up to the legacy of his father. But what happens if he accepts the offer? And Cole asks him a couple questions, and Cody goes to answer. Cole kind of like interrupts him. Cole doesn't let Cody really get a word in at all. Cole says if you accept the offer, you have it all. Cody could only he said, man, you could only have to defend your title at major events like Mania. No more house shows. No more overseas trips where you're gone for 3 weeks at a time. The Rock could make you a board member. Hell, The Rock could even make you part owner. He said you could get rid of the bus. You could be home. And then he gets a little notification in his ear. He says, I'm told that there's a special gift for you. And Cole and Cody turn around and a big-ass truck comes pulling up. Bread, Cody Rhodes on the hood, Nightmare Family logo all over it.
It's a Ford Raptor just like The Rock has.
Yeah. And right then and there, I said, shit, I'll take The Rock's offer. I don't give a fuck. People kiss my ass. Rock shows up on Titantron. Rock, big brain in tonight. Putting his balls out there. He said, I'm going to do a promo next to a live jet. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show how good I can cut a promo while all you can hear is jet engine. Rock
was so loud.
Oh, so loud. Rock says, hey, you like your gift? He said, we've been talking all week. We've been texting all week. We even FaceTime once. Rock says, enjoy your gift. It's a badass truck. Same one I have.
Yep.
I put your logo all over it. Rock says, he said, I've been talking to Dusty all week, and he told me you've been talking to him, which tells me you're going to do the right thing and you're going to accept my offer. Rock says, I had a gift made, and pulls out, he's been carrying this weight belt, and he slides it down and says, Cody's Soul, and it has the date that Dusty died on it. Which I don't know if it's a good way to get Cody to accept your offer. Like, to me, that I don't know. I don't know how that was.
It was a little more taunting.
Yeah, it was a little taunting more than, like, you should accept my offer. Rock tells Cody, don't break my heart again. I love you, brother. And Cody doesn't even say a word through this whole thing. Of course, it's just The Rock talking and I cut it down a lot because The Rock talks 20 minutes of nonsense before he gets to the damn point. So I just hit the damn point, which was, here's a truck, here's a weight belt. Don't break my heart again. We've been talking all damn week, so don't act like you don't want to. And really was the main point. And again, Rock's promos are fine if he got to the point. Like, we don't need all the other extra hemming and hawing to get there, Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, what are we doing? But I thought it was a good way to end the show. Like, they really hit on everything they needed to hit to going into Chamber and for the people that aren't going to be in the Chamber. So.
Yeah. Like I said, I was glad to see the belts that are being defended getting a little low on the show.
Yep.
You saw Charlotte. Tiffany's going to be on it, but the belt won't be. We get a lot of the U.S. title. We got the women's U.S. champ.
Yep.
We got the tag champs,
Yep.
both for the men's and women's. So yeah, it's a great show.
Bad
I'm super
bloodline.
stoked for tonight, but I'm probably honestly not going to be able to watch until tomorrow morning. We'll see.
Yeah, so we're gonna do our review tomorrow afternoon.
Yep.
And yeah, man, it was a good SmackDown. It was a good episode, and we will see everyone tomorrow. Tomorrow for tonight's Elimination Chamber. So everybody enjoy it, and we will see everybody then. Peace.